Hello ladies and gentlemen, Teo here, playing Ever17. Not much to say here. We finally got past the sort of tedious scene where the characters find out again that Sora's a hologram. I feel like we already did that one, but it's different enough that it won't let me skip it. But I digress. Several hours passed. It seemed like it was about time for the sun to be setting. In the dark depths of the ocean, my sense of time had eroded. I checked the time on my PDA, finally making sure it was night. Still, nothing in Limu changed. No one new showed up to visit us. But things hadn't taken a turn for the worse either. There didn't seem to be any impending danger of floor or collapse. We each spent the time as we pleased. We had long forgotten that we were trapped. I decided to go see Sora. Honestly, I was a little confused. Sora was AI. I wanted to know what RSD was. It might be something I shouldn't even bother worrying about, but I wanted to ask Sora about it. Without really understanding what she was all about, I didn't think I would know how to act around Sora. Can you tell me more about RSD? You got my interest perked, and I want to know more about you. I understand. But rattling off a bunch of jargon won't do much good, will it? It might just confuse you. Well, I'm no technician. If you start throwing out a bunch of technical terms, I'll just get lost. I see. So you were completely lost when I was conversing with Tsugumi? Yeah, I had no clue what you two were saying. I scratched my head. I realized that I was blushing. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong? Sora looked apologetic. No, that was a good comeback. A good comeback? What's a good comeback? Sora looked confused. Wait, we're gonna teach the robot how to banter? I never knew that I wanted this in my life before this moment. But now I don't think I can live without it. It's when you say something to needle the person you're talking with, or make a sharp or witty comment that makes him feel awkward. I see. Gee, I'm really sorry, Takeshi. You don't have to apologize, it didn't hurt my feelings or anything. Are you sure? I don't mind, it was fun, okay? Making a person feel awkward is funny? It's hilarious. That seems to be a contradiction. It is, but it's not. It depends on the time and the place. That's difficult. Hard for me to comprehend the concept of nice comeback. Forget about it. Knowing that Sora was a product of artificial intelligence, I was impressed that she was even able to register a joke. I wondered if I hadn't tossed that can of cola to Sora if I would still be thinking that she were human. To get back to what we were talking about, can you tell me more about RSD? Yes, let's see. Let me try to explain using specific examples. Yes, please. Sora and I headed from the rest area to the control room. As we walked, Sora started speaking. Takeshi, can you see me? Yeah, I see you no problem. And I can see you as well. I'm standing right next to you. You sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Positive? But suddenly Sora faced me and reached out toward me. And then... Ah! Sora's hand slipped without resistance into my chest. Reflexively, I tried to grab her arms, only my hands met with nothing. My hands were in front of my chest, but there was nothing there. Yes. So you're seeing me. However, I'm not right next to you. Saying this, Sora pulled her hand back. RSD stands for Retinal Scanning Display. The display device is not actually a display. Rather, a weak laser is aimed at the retina. Retina? You mean my eye? Yes. In the ceiling of each room and corridor are semiconductor laser output devices. So the image is being directly reflected on your retina. Image? Yes, my image. Directly on my retina. Holographic screens typically allow for the object behind them to be visible. This system uses the eyeball as a virtual screen and continuously sends an image synthesized with the background scenery. Well, what about your voice? It sounds like your voice is coming from where your mouth appears. We arrived at the rest area and I sat on a nearby bench. Sora continued standing in front of me. Sora, why don't you sit down? I don't get tired, so I'm fine standing. I understand that, but it makes me feel uneasy. It makes me feel like you're straining yourself or something. Is that right? Then excuse me. Sora slowly sat down to the left of me. I didn't feel the bench move under her weight. Well, yes. I'm not sure why you're surprised by that at this point, but looking at her, she was definitely sitting. We were talking about my voice. That's right. Have you ever heard 3D sound? 3D sound? Have you ever listened to music using headphones? Of course I have. When you do, where does it sound like the music is coming from? Inside my head, I guess? That's right. Most people hear the sound as if it's reverberating inside the center of their head toward the back. But the sound is not actually coming from inside your head. I guess not. But if you could apply this knowledge and adjust the volume from the left and right to accurately simulate this reverberating sound, Then you could create the illusion that a sound was coming from any direction, above or below, left or right. I see. Oh, so you mean the voice converter. I still had both of them on my ears. I removed them. They were about the size of the tip of my little finger. In front of me, Sora's mouth moved soundlessly. It was like I couldn't hear her voice. But that wasn't all. Then her image started to get a little fuzzy. Huh? When I replaced the voice converters, Sora returned to normal. The image's position is based on the location of the voice converters. So wherever you stand in whichever direction you face. Lemon is constantly using sensors around the complex that monitor the position of the voice converters to the millimeter. So that when I'm 60 feet behind you, my voice will sound as if I'm exactly 60 feet behind you. When I'm to the right, it sounds to the right. When to the left, it sounds to the left. When I'm under you, it sounds under. When you're under? Now, kids. Let's keep this PG-13. Well... Anyway, that's how it works. You understand? Takeshi, now try to face a little to the left. I faced to the left, as she said. Sora stood and moved around to my right. Just a moment ago, I said that Lem is constantly monitoring your position in the direction you're facing. At the same time, Lem is also monitoring the position of your eyeballs. So that even if you move, I still appear in the same place. That means that Lem has scanned the image onto your eyes in this way. So you can be made to suddenly disappear or reappear in another place? Do you want to see it? No, I think I'll pass. I heard someone coming running up to us. Oh, Takepyon! Ow, ow. The small footsteps were those of Coco and Pee-Pee. Hey, Takepyon, have you seen Sora around? She's right there. What's going on? I'm confused. What are you talking about? She's right in front of you. Right in front? But there's nobody here. Huh? Coco tilted her head questioningly as she said this. I mean... I guess this makes sense, right? We sort of established from the kids' route that there are definitely instances where the hologram is not being uniformly projected to all people in the area, right? Because there were a bunch of times that only the kid could see Coco. But I don't see why. Like, for right here. Like, why isn't Sora visible to Coco? Does Coco not have, like, voice converters or something on? Because, like, if that's the case, then the system has trouble mapping her eye movement, right? So she might have just left her voice converters behind. But outside of that, I can't think of a compelling reason for Sora to not appear to her. Oh well, see you later. After looking around us, Coco left. Sora was still standing right next to me. Coco hadn't been able to see Sora. No, that wasn't it. So that's it. So her image wasn't being scanned onto her retina. There you go, you're quick on the pickup. Normally, my image is scanned on the eyes of all 5 of you. It's coordinated so it looks to everyone like I'm in the same place, doing the same movement and saying the same thing. But it's also possible to show you something else. For example... Oh, Sora, there you are! Coco's voice came from behind me. Looking back, I saw Coco looking toward the flower bed and speaking. Oh, so to Coco it looks like Sora's in front of the flower bed, huh? Hey, Sora? I didn't see Sora anywhere. Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk to you. Huh? No, that's not what I... Oh, I see. You want me to bring it? Coco was continuing her conversation with Sora. Man, this is trippy. Like, it makes sense, but it's trippy. Like, this would mess with your head, to have to, like, interact with an AI like this, especially if she's... I think we made a terrible mistake when we, like, taught her how to troll people. Like, comebacks is the first step, right? Like, after that, she would want to move on to, like, actively trolling people. And giving her capacity for trolling, I'm now horrified at the prospects. Okay, I understand. I'll go tell Nakyu. See you later. Coco ran off somewhere. Pee-Pee followed her. So I can do this kind of thing as well. Sora suddenly appeared before me. Ah! Kind of like you're a ghost. Yes, I hear that a lot. Being in the same place and looking at the same thing, only some people can see it and some people can't. I've never seen one, but if ghosts really do exist, I imagine they exist much the way that I do. Well, now I get it. But there's something that bothers me. What is that? Sora, so you can't be in more than one place at a time. For example, you couldn't be in one room talking to me and another talking with Coco? Theoretically, it is possible. However, the way that I'm designed, I can't do that. Why not? I imagine it's to help maintain an image of reality for visitors, so that there is only one Sora in the world. Without the kind of setting, visitors would get confused. And that's why we can't have more than 9 deck slots. That, and it was the policy of my designer. The policy of my designer was to create me as a character with an independent personality. That reminds me, I've heard the same thing about the United Land characters. Obviously, referring to Disneyland. There's only one of each character in the park. Like in a story, there can't be any one character in 2 places at the same time. That feels like foreshadowing. Like, on one hand, it makes sense from a sort of meta perspective why they would hardlock Sora into one position, because otherwise it sort of restricts sort of the design space for your mysteries, if you can have one person appearing in multiple places at once. So I feel like this is the writers sort of gently nudging me and being like, yeah, by the way, this, like, having one person in 2 places at the same time isn't a valid solution to figuring out why, like, stuff is going on. So that's kind of cute. That's one thing I've been sort of, impressed by while playing this, is the sort of subtle leaning on the fourth wall that the writers do. It's, like, never super blatant, but there's, like, sort of like wink wink nudge nudge stuff. Sora had more work to do, so I saw her to the control room. It seemed strange that Sora, who could teleport anywhere instantly, was walking. Maybe she was doing it to humor me. I was wondering about the laser retina scan. So if I were in a place that the laser couldn't reach, then I couldn't see you? Of course not, but the scanning devices are located in every room of the complex, and there are mirrors embedded in the walls, ceilings, and floors to reflect the images. So almost no matter where you are, I can be displayed. So there are no blind spots? That's the way it's designed. However, there is one major flaw. Flaw? I'm only seen when someone looks at me. What? I mean, that I cease to exist when no one is looking at me. For example, if all 5 of you were here and you all closed your eyes at once, at that moment, I would cease to exist. But that's a meaningless distinction, right? Like, you're a hologram, you can't actually do anything. And presumably the speakers in the voice modulator thing still work. So it's not like you just don't exist. Like, you can still interact with them in the same capacity you could before. I feel like it's sort of a meaningless distinction. I casually held my hand up in front of my eyes. I covered the view forward, looking down near my feet. There was no sign of Sora next to me. It was as if she had vanished, or never been there in the first place. Surprised, I removed my hand and Sora reappeared in the corridor. The outline of Sora's sandals blurred dimly in the water. Someone has to see me. I have to be seen to exist. Vision. That someone's eye actually creates me. Takeshi. When you close your eyes, I disappear. When we entered the control room, I heard her being called from the console. Well, Takeshi, Lem is calling for me, so I'll leave and come back shortly. And saying that, Sora disappeared. Only the 3-dimensional hologram depicting Limu hovered silently in the darkness. It was nighttime, but from the center of the ocean it was only slightly darker than before. Fortunately, the damage to Limu hadn't worsened. We had a light dinner at the chicken sandwich shop and gathered in the conference room. My yawn spread from one person to the next. Still, everybody looks so sleepy. Well, there's really nothing to do either. The only person that seemed completely awake was Coco. Everyone else was slouched in chairs, just spacing out. Story of my life. There was no impending danger, no new developments. The situation we were in remained unchanged, but it somehow felt as though time had stopped. Takeshi, you're such a slob. You said this in a tired-sounding voice. And stop dawdling. Look, there's no reason to go wandering around the complex now, right? We're just gonna have to wait for help to come anyway, right? Yeah, I suppose. Alright, I'm off for a little bit. Twisting your neck around, you stood up. Hey, Nakyu, where are you going? Nowhere in particular, just a walk. I've got to move around or I'll get tired. Oh, I know, let's run a race. Coco's eyes lit up. A race? You don't want to? No, I didn't say that. You made a face, but you didn't seem to be in a bad mood. Then how about tag? Alright, I'm in. But tag with 2 people doesn't sound very fun. Want me to play? The kid stood up. May I participate as well? Sora approached Coco and the others. See, that seems a little bit logistically complicated. Like, how are you supposed to tag someone if they can't feel it? Like, if I remember correctly, in the kids' route, they circumvented the problem by having Sarah and Sora sort of act as a team, right? But obviously that doesn't work this time around, because there isn't a Sarah. Sora approached Coco and the others. Yeah, let's play together. Yes, let's. Alright, I'm gonna win. I couldn't tell why, but everyone was excited to play. I suppose everyone was bored. Hey, where do you want to play? How about in this room? Coco looked around the conference room. I surveyed it too. Tsugumi sat alone with an annoyed expression on her face. Never shut up. She lazily stood from her chair and walked briskly to the corner of the room and flipped off the light switch. Tsugumi returned to her original seat and again sat down slowly. What do you think you're doing? It's dark. It was too bright for me to concentrate. Some people want to rest. Well, that doesn't mean you should just go turn off the lights. Just because you want to rest. And what about you? Don't you want to rest? No, Oh yeah, hey Takeshi, you want to play tag? Tag, huh? Wait, I get a choice this time? That's funny. Looks like choosing to play tag doesn't give points to any of the routes, and passing gives a point to Tsugumi's route. So I'm tempted to choose that one, but at the same time, I kind of want to choose I'm in, just because if they choose to play kick the can, then whether or not they have that like weird extra person joins the game in the middle thing go on, like whether or not that occurs, it will sort of provide clues as to how it happened in the kids' route, right? Because if it happens again, then it's sort of a common element, right? So anything that's missing from the kids' route, or Takeshi's, like anything that isn't present in both routes can't be the cause, right? And then if it's missing from this route, if the setup is similar enough, then that sort of leads to the explanation in the kids' route being sort of centered around something that's missing from this route, right? Like maybe it's the actual Coco or something, I don't know. Of course, in the kids' route, it might have actually just been Tsugumi, and she just lied when we asked her about it, but that doesn't seem super likely. Fine, I talked myself into it. It all sounded childish to me. Well, I suppose. Just sitting around here doing nothing would get kind of boring. Alright, I'm in. I stood up enthusiastically. Oh, does that mean Takeshi wants to play? Roger that! Tsugumi glanced at me out of the corner of her eye and then looked away. Shall we leave the lights off? The kid whispered this to me. The emergency lights are on, but it's kind of dark. You okay with that? Let's go with what Tsugumi thinks. But this doesn't seem like tag at all. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Give me a flashlight to go. Coco pulled out a flashlight as she recited the rhyme. Yeah, well, kick the can's pretty cool, don't you think? Coco lit up her face with the flashlight from under her chin, trying to get everyone to agree. Kick the can. What is kick the can? You pick someone to be in a dark place, then everyone hides. Hey, that's just hide and seek tag. No, it's not, listen. Oh, sorry. The person that's it puts a can somewhere in the room, and the person that hide tried to kick the can before the person that's it finds them. If a person kicks the can, then he or she wins. If the person that's it finds somebody and steps on the can calling out his or her name, then the found person can't kick the can anymore and loses. Oh, so it's kind of like hide and seek, right? Well, everyone knows how to play that. No, it's kick the can. That's a glorified kind of hide and seek. It's kick the can! Kick the can. No, like, it's meaningfully different than hide and seek, right? Because hide and seek doesn't have a win condition for the hiders outside of just, like, being the last person to be found, right? You're competing within your group, whereas the number of people that can win in kick the can is anywhere from 1 to X minus 1, where X is the number of people playing the game as a whole, right? So it encourages cooperation more than hide and seek does. Whereas hide and seek is sum zero, right? In any given game, there is exactly one winner. Anyway, who cares about the name? Let's play. Jeez. As we were all getting pumped for the game, Tsugumi let out a sigh. You're so noisy. Tsugumi quietly stood up and walked to the far exit, leaving the room. Is Tsugumi mad? Who knows? Anyway, she'll come back after a while. You'll see. Okay, so we have the appropriate setup for Tsugumi to join the game midway and then lie about it, if that is what actually happened. Now that she's, like, not in the room and just hanging out. After that, we decided who was it using rock, paper, scissors. Ready, go. Ready, go. Ready, go. Damn, I lost. Alright, so Takeshi is it first. Well, goody. Good luck. Everyone was grinning at me. Damn. Here you go, Takeshi. The kid handed me the empty can. But hiding anywhere is okay as long as it's on the 3rd floor. Okay, let's hide. Ready? Wait a sec. I held up a hand hurriedly, stopping you from sending everyone off. You, what'd you just say? Let's hide. No, before that. You can hide anywhere on this 3rd floor. Are you serious? Not just the conference room? This place is too small, and there aren't that many places to hide. But the whole 3rd floor? Oh, of course, the areas you can't walk from here are off limits. And the emergency corridors and stairs are no good either. It's still too big. It's not fair to the person that's it. While he's looking, he's sure to get it from somebody else. I think it's fine. It's not fine. The game won't work. This is a major problem. Ah, you sure complain a lot. Well, he would certainly appear to be at a disadvantage. I'll dim the lights on the 3rd floor, but in return I'll make it so that the sounds carry better. If sounds carry, then you can hear when somebody moves across a corridor with water. That'll give a person who's it an advantage. And I'll make it so you know when people are moving. I'll synthesize footsteps and dispatch the data to voice converters. Alright, please do. Oh, but what should I do if I get to the can first? Huh? Oh. That's right, you can't take the can. We'd only just noticed. If we played tag, we would have had to ban Sora from jumping about as an image. Then you can be with me, Sora. Interesting. Interesting. So the links between the two, continue growing. Make it so that Sora and I have to be within a yard of each other when we hide or when we're it. So I can kick the can. Okay, let's try it this way. Okay, thanks. On top of that, we made Sora promise not to use the bioscan or Limu to monitor the location of anyone. Yeah, that would be pretty bullshit. It's like, we're playing hide and seek, except I have a HUD. Like, I have a mini-map. Yeah, that makes it fair then. Alright, all set. It looked like everyone was ready. I took the can, closed my eyes, and counted to 100 in the conference room. During that time, the others had scattered out around the floor. 100. I opened my eyes. I put the can by my feet. I looked around in the dim light. There was no one around. Guess I'll have to go look. I faced the nearby door. The sound of my shoes on the ground reverberated as a deep sound. It sounded unnatural. It was kind of like I imagined sonar would sound. I see. So this is what Sora means by making the sound bigger. I felt like I was in a submarine. I thought I'd best be careful of my footsteps to make sure they weren't heard by the others. All the lights were off, but the doors opened automatically. First, I thought I would head for the... Are these choices relevant? Nope. Alright. Central control room, we'll say. I decided to hit the control room. The monitors in the room were off, and the room only dimly lit. The computers weren't moving. I peeked into the lockers and under the desks, but no one was there. Well, I figured no one would want to hide in a place that would be cramped and hard to get out of. I gave up looking any more thoroughly and left the room. The elevator hall was one idea. I entered the elevator hall. But there was really no place for anywhere to hide. I checked along the walls, but there wasn't anyone there. All the elevators were stopped and there was no sign of anything moving. Maybe I should ignore this area. Thinking about where to go next. Oh! Just then I heard a sound. Someone was running along the corridor. The footsteps were heading toward the conference room from the Lemurian ruins. Oh no. I rushed back the way I'd come. Who is that? Oops! When I shouted, the moving person flinched. The person I found in the corner was the kid. I didn't know if he had given up because I ran after him, but he had stopped in the corridor. Oh no, you caught me. Am I the first one? Yep. Dang, that means if you catch everyone, then I'm it next? I reckon so. I wonder if someone will show up to help me. Takeshi, if you don't go step on the can, then I'll go kick it. You sure know your kick the can rules. Whack. Right. I had forgotten that from the kid's route. The kid was like bait for you to like drop kick him. That was so rude! Crash. Ugh! Splash. Suddenly, you came flying from the side and completely cold-cocked me with a jumping chop to the neck. Yeah, that's messed up. I feel like that violates the spirit of the game. Like, it's called hide and seek, not like, attack them from behind and seek. Girl. My head went underwater. My mouth filled with salt water. He was pointing at me in the water and cackling crazily. Floundering about in the water, I stood up. Hey, you! I won this battle. Hey you, wait! Waiting for you to catch me? No thanks! Hey you, I'll get you back for that. Just you wait. I took off in a mad dash after you. You disappeared into the conference room. She tried to close the door before I got there, but I made it in first. I was lucky. You couldn't find the can and was wandering about. I ran by you. I caught sight of the can and slid into it. I put the can under my foot and declared, I found you! I stomped on the can! Soon after that, the kid came in. Found the kid! Stomped on the can! I continued my declaration. Ahaha! Did you really think you could outwit me? Takeshi, you cheat? You changed the place of the can. Nobody said where we had to put the can, right? Besides, you smacked me, so I figure we're even. Alright, whatever. Anyway, so I'm the first person you caught? You got it. Well, that plan was sure a failure. Huh? What plan? As they were talking, the sound of splashing footsteps could be heard approaching the door. Hello! I found Sora and Coco and Pee-Pee. I stepped on the can. Oh, did you get beaten here, you? Things didn't quite work out as planned. Naku, don't you think you jumped the gun just a little bit? You said we would all charge together. Oh, so that was your plan. Yeah, I thought if we all went for the can at once, you wouldn't be able to stop us. That's pretty tricky. You really think so? You laughed mischievously and with a hint of embarrassment. Yeah. Sorry, I had something caught in my throat there. We gathered in the center of the room. Well, finding all of you was easier than I thought. First of all, mob-style kicking of the can is definitely outlawed. Huh? Why? You think I can stop you if all just come attack at once? Impossible. That's why. Takes all the fun out of it. Timing your rush just right, when the person whose it goes searching, all of that would disappear from the game. Well, alright. You reluctantly agreed to be it the next time. I thought that maybe she was used to hand-to-hand full-contact battles of Kick the Can. Alright, everyone good with that? Everyone, Sora, Coco, Kid, and Pee-Pee nodded. Okay then, you is it next. Can's over there, so you get it. Put it where you want and count. Bing. Interesting. And because this time we don't have Coco to blame, right? So it's either actually Tsugumi or the person X, who is as of yet unintroduced. The sound of a can being kicked rang out in the darkness. The can went rolling powerfully toward the corridor. Hey, who kicked that? It wasn't me. As soon as she got this out of her mouth, you started to run away. You scoundrel! Everyone scattered like scared butterflies. The splashing sound of footsteps echoed as they receded down the corridor. Jeez. Means I gotta be it again? No one responded. I looked around the room. No one was left. Huh? I wondered if Tsugumi kicked the can. No matter what she said, Tsugumi was probably playing on the sly. Should've just said so then. Jeez. Oh well. Alright, I'm counting to 100. 1, 10, 11, 100! I don't think that's how you count. Like, I'm prepared to be wrong about this one. Like, I'm no mathematician, but I don't think that's quite how it goes. Wait, he's counting in base 2. He's counting in binary. I think that's cheating. That sounds a lot like cheating. Also, why did he immediately jump to... I mean, okay, I was about to ask why did he immediately jump to Tsugumi as the culprit. But it makes sense because she's the only person unaccounted for, but it doesn't make sense because, like, she's not in the room, right? You can't kick the can without being in the room, presumably. So, like, if she's the one who kicked the can, where'd she go? Like, am I supposed to go back to, like, invisible person for my theory? Like, I don't know. It would certainly make sense how somebody could hide out in the facility for so long. Like, if they don't have to worry about being seen because they're invisible. But there's a couple holes with that theory, right? First of all, there is a scanner thing that reads heat signatures, if I'm remembering correctly. And, like, presumably being invisible doesn't stop you from giving off heat. That would be one hell of a trick. But, like, probably doesn't work, right? So first of all, you get caught by the scan. Although maybe that is responsible for the fluctuating numbers, I don't know. Second of all, there's, like, all the water everywhere, right? Like, being invisible doesn't help you from, like, making big splashing sounds. So, like, you still probably get found out or noticed when you try and go from point A to point B. But, I don't know. I don't know, man. Here I go. I'm gonna get all of you. I thought about where I should start looking. Chicken sandwich stand, obviously. Place where dreams come true. I arrived at the chicken sandwich shop. Try saying that 10 times fast. The area was dark, but it still smelled delicious. Dang, I'm hungry. Maybe I'll just stop for a bite. I reached for some of the sandwiches packaged and lined up on the corner. I took off the wrapping and took a bite. Ouch, that's hard! Oh, it's a plastic sample. Wow, you're really dumb. Have you ever considered not being dumb? Like, I recognize that it's, like, very difficult for you, but think of all the benefits you would accrue from choosing to not be dumb. You would, for example, not eat the plastic sandwich! I'd taken a bite of a wax sample and it was tasteless. There was no way I was eating that. Oh well. I went around to the back of the shop and went inside. I thought I'd make myself a chicken sandwich. The light inside the shop dim. But since I'd been appointed chairman of the breakfast committee this morning, I knew exactly where the food and cooking equipment was. Aren't you in the middle of a game of hide and seek? Like, how rude is that? Like, the guy who's supposed to be looking for people goes and starts making himself dinner in the middle of the game. It's like, yeah, I'll find people later. That's so rude! Who the hell does that? I stooped over to open the fridge by my feet. There should still be loads of food in here. Huh? Someone was there sticking out beside the fridge. A hand. It was a pair of white hands. I'd seen them before. Above them was a face I'd seen before. She was staring around nervously. Hey, what are you doing? Eh? Kya! I guess she hadn't noticed me. Looking up and seeing me, she stiffened. She seemed flustered, her mouth agape and eyes looking around desperately. Hello? Welcome to our restaurant! Huh? Bent over awkwardly, Sora shifted gears and suddenly shot me a smile. Oh, another customer! What'll you have? What can I get you today? I'll take a chicken sandwich. But I'm pretty sure that's all you've got anyway. Oh, is that right? I'll get right on it. And would you like a drink with that? I'm not sure how you're planning on serving him. You don't have hands. Let's see. Sora, I'm amazed that you were obeying the rules of the game so strictly. I thought maybe you'd vanished somewhere, gone off where I couldn't find you. Oh yeah, that's right. They never explicitly banned hiding inside walls. But that would ruin the game, wouldn't it? I play by the rules. I know, but still. If you're going to the trouble to hide, you should try to hide a little better. I mean, inside the sandwich stand is, like, a reasonable place to hide. It seemed fairly effective. Like, it's not obvious from the outside. You have to go inside the stand, and even then he didn't notice you immediately, right? Like, seems like a perfectly legitimate hiding spot. Sora had simply squatted down and covered her head. Is that right? I didn't think I would be that easy to find. Well, since you found me, there's not much I can do about it. I took some bread out of the fridge for a sandwich. Takeshi, I'm not out until you step on the can. Yeah, I know. Don't you think this is not the time to be eating bread? No, it's okay. With you here, that means Coco's around here also, right? Yes. Don't worry, I'll hound her out after I finish this. Right, Coco? Bang, bang. I pounded on the stainless steel kitchen counter. I know you're hiding in the back of the shop already. Well, that's where you want to be, that's fine. If you aren't there, then tell me. I'm not! Coco, you silly, if you talk, he'll find you. Huh? Girl, you fell for the oldest trick in the book. Oops. Coco and Peepee came out from under the counter together. I found Sora, Coco, and Peepee. I stepped on the can. Again, I thought I'd check some other rooms. Let's go bottom to top. Let's be untraditional. I visited the rest area. I soon noticed that there was somebody there. I could hear the sound of somebody walking through water. As I got closer, the direction of the footsteps changed. It was somebody short and moving slowly. It was a battle of patience. Splash, splash. My opponent's feet made a dash for the exit. I circled around to the side again and again to block off the person. The footsteps gradually moved away from the exit into a corner. I moved a little bit closer. I had a hunch whoever it was would make a break for it. I moved to head them off and prepared to trip them by catching his or her leg. Splash! I heard somebody fall spectacularly. Hey, I don't know who you are, but are you alright? I thought I was near where the person had stumbled, but it was dark and I couldn't see much. I wonder if this might work. I took my PDA from my pocket and set the monitor backlight for maximum brightness, but it was weak and nothing compared to a flashlight. I thought it might be brighter, but it was dim and didn't amount to much. My hand slipped. My PDA looked like it was headed for the water. That would be unfortunate. I snatched it right before it hit the water's surface. Nice save. Huh? I glimpsed something reflecting on the water's surface, moving. Just about the biggest fish I'd ever seen started sliding away in the water. Well, if it isn't the kid. I scooped up a handful of seawater from around my feet and dumped it on his head. Oh no, he found me. Splash. As soon as the kid stood up, he tried to get away. Ah! But he had a hood on, and the hood was filled with water. Splash. The weight of the hood dragged him backward as he kicked his legs into the air and plopped backward down in the water on his back. Wait. You know what? I'm not even gonna question it. Not even gonna question it. Hey, this feels pretty good. The kid swam a kind of breaststroke in the small pool of water 6 inches deep. Is the water cold? A bit. He glided along, enjoying himself. It was probably what people meant by taking to water like a fish. In the darkness, he swam to the other side of the room. Hey, just so you know, that exit is the long way around. Huh? Read my mind. The kid gave up and stood. I thought you wouldn't see me if I were in the water. That's ambitious. He laughed as he said it. Keep me on my toes. You're like a ninja or something. Ninja. The kid took some kind of ninja pose. Interesting. Because it's like Sarah's catchphrase, right? Or whatever. And that implies that the kid has knowledge of events from his route. Or at least like some information regarding Sarah. He jumped in the water again and swam some more. I found the kid, and I stepped on the can. What are the other possible explanations, other than the kid having, like, some either conscious or unconscious recollection of Sarah? Because, like, that's not, like, the most common turn of phrase, right? Unless it's a reference to something, in which case I'd look kind of dumb, but he shouldn't get references to things, right? Like, he's sort of established that he doesn't have great pop culture knowledge. Maybe he hasn't, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. But yeah, that feels like a hint towards him having precognitive powers of some variety. Or like having some sort of knowledge of the other routes. However, the other routes interact with this one. In that way, I rounded up everyone, stepped on the can, and ended the game. Wait, what about you? We definitely skipped the one where we go to the Lemurian ruins. Only Tsugumi was left. What? I looked around outside of the room and was surprised. Tsugumi was sitting calmly in a chair, waiting. I found Tsugumi! Eh? Don't play dumb with me. I have no idea what you're talking about. I know better than that. You're playing dumb. I know it. Dumb? You're the one that kicked the can, right? Can? What are you talking about? Tsugumi stood up. I jumped. If Tsugumi kicked the can first, I thought I'd lose. I frantically ran to where the can was. Found Tsugumi! Stepped on the can! Huh? What's... Jeez. What are you doing, Takeshi? Huh? My foot was searching for the can, but found only space. The can's gone! I squinted, scouring the area around me. The can shined in the emergency lights, visible dimly in the corner of the room. Hey, once you've been caught, it's against the rules to kick the can. I shouted this into the darkness, but everyone had already run away. There was nothing I could do. I was it again. I had to go from scratch. I had to go search. The kid, you, Coco, Pee-Pee, Sora. I knew they couldn't have gone far and thought I'd find them quickly. Tsugumi stayed around in the conference room. Didn't look like she felt like going anywhere. Just to be safe, I got everyone and stepped on the can again. The next time, nobody kicked the can. This time, the kid is it. Alright, so I count to 100, right? The kid took the can and sat in the chair with his face down. Alright, here I go. 1, 2, 3. We left the conference room running around the floor. Coco, Pee-Pee, and Sora vanished down the corridor amidst the sound of splashing. You approached me. Takeshi, what do you say we work together? Huh? Ganging up is against the rules. I think I'll pass. Don't be so stubborn. Why did you approach me? We just happened to be going in the same direction, that's all. I see. I wonder if here would be safe. The bathroom could be against the rules. That's not a good idea. Oh, this way's a dead end, huh? Let's go back. I wonder if we still have time. I strained my ears to listen. 34, 35. I could faintly hear the kid counting. Seems like we still got some time. I think it would have been more fun if we had made the emergency corridor as part of the game. That would make searching a hassle. There are only a few routes to the conference room, so it's kind of boring. Well, that's because you run around so loudly that anyone can hear you coming a mile away. Oh, thanks a lot. Hey, wait, be quiet. 51, 52. We can still hear counting. Let's find somewhere to hide. Yeah. We ended up at the Lemurian ruins. You wanna go in the ruins? The maze? Getting out will probably be a pain, but... Don't say that. You push me toward the entrance of the ruins. Wait a minute. Shouldn't the kid be... Or shouldn't Sora be it this time? Because it goes in order of, like, when he found them, right? That was my understanding of the rules. Wow. 0 out of 10. Unreadable. You pushed me toward the entrance of the ruins. I peered into the attraction, but inside was dark as if it had been painted pitch black. I couldn't tell anything. Oh yeah, why did nobody think of this? This seems like a fantastic hiding place. Like, it's basically a maze, right? I mean, you have issues getting out again, but, you know, sometimes sacrifices have to be made for the sake of science. And for the sake of winning, children's games. That might be too dark. The lights and emergency lights are both off. I strained, looking into the darkness. It looked as if the darkness went on forever. Heading in there like this would be reckless. Huh? Something moved in the darkness. A person appeared from the ruins. You were in there, Tsugumi? Yes, took a look around. It's completely dark, you best not go in. Completely dark, huh? Tsugumi left us. What is Tsugumi's, like, agenda here? I'm still super confused. Looking tired, Tsugumi kicked the water under her feet lightly. I heard the sound of something click in her hand. It was a sound I'd heard before. Tsugumi, did you take the flashlight? It'd be impossible to walk inside without it. Hey, hey! Coco came running and splashing up with Sora in tow. So this is where everyone was? Hey! Coco and Sarah, welcome. Sora, rather, not Sarah. But if we're supposed to be hiding, clumping up like this isn't too bright, is it? Oh, you're right. What if they just all hid in the Lemurian ruins? That would be super funny. It's probably just finishing counting to 100. You're right. And Tsugumi's playing too, right? I'm not playing. I just happen to be around here. Look, I wish you'd stop talking that way about me. Alright, alright. 87, 88. Man. What is the kid doing? Like, on one hand, it's one thing to count in base 2, like Takeshi did. That's pretty blatantly cheating. But you can afford to count a little bit faster than that, dude. What are y'all doing here? You planning a strategy? No, not exactly. What? I'm super confused. Well, I guess we better scatter and hide. Yeah. Remember, kids, only awkward if you let it be awkward. Hey, what's the kid doing here? Huh? What are you talking about? Kid, did you forget that you're it? 98, 99. Hey, whose voice is that? The lights turned on. Who turned the lights on? I did. We were now able to see the area around us. You, Sora, Coco, Tsugumi, the kid, me. Everyone was accounted for. Everyone appears to be present. Sora extended her hand out in the air. The life readings of the complex do not appear to be abnormal. There's nothing moving around the conference room. I don't get it. Yeah, me neither. What's going on? Like, if you're not getting life readings, the best explanation, or like the most plausible explanation seems to me like another hologram, right? Now, why? How? Of who? Maybe that Coco and this Coco are different? Maybe there's like two Cocos? I have no idea what to make of that. Who could have been counting? Wasn't you? No! I thought it sounded like you, so then who? I don't know. Being... Hey! That was the can being kicked. Who? But then it can't be a hologram if they're kicking the bloody can! I'm so confused! Is it Pee-Pee? No, Pee-Pee can't count. Could it be a ghost? Sora said it with a straight face. If it's a ghost, I'd like to make its acquaintance. Splish, splash. The sound of someone moving through the water reached us from outside the room. And then the empty can came rolling to a stop in front of us. Clatter, clatter, clatter. The can stopped in the shallow area with a hollow metallic sound. Woof! Hey, Pee-Pee, where have you been? Wait, was I right? Was it actually the bloody dog? That's the dumbest thing I've said all day. And I say a lot of dumb things. Pee-Pee took the can in his mouth again and ran circles around us. That was the end of Kick the Can. Okay, so we don't necessarily need to write off the hologram because Pee-Pee could have been the one doing the actual kicking. So you have the hologram counting and Pee-Pee kicking. And I guess it could have been Pee-Pee kicking all along, but I thought Pee-Pee was accounted for. At least in the second time. Oh, right, but nobody kicked the can out of order the second time. It's a little bit annoying that they won't give me, like, super clear information on the life readings. Right? Like, does Pee-Pee count? Does Sora count? Like, I don't know either of those. Right? And just now, when Sora said that the life readings weren't unusual, like, did she just mean that, like, they were the correct number? Or did she, like, not notice Pee-Pee coming down the corridor? Like, you're confused about the position of somebody, and there's like a dot moving down the corridor. Presumably that's something you care about, right? So from that I can infer that Pee-Pee doesn't show up. But that doesn't make sense if the life reading thing is looking for, like, heat signatures. Like, maybe it's heat signatures of, like, a certain size or something, so maybe Pee-Pee's not big enough to trigger it? Like, I feel like there are fundamental pieces of information that I'm not being given to work with here that I would really like to have. In the end, it remained a mystery who was counting. We passed the rest of the night uneventfully. And then just then, it was ambiguous whether or not it was Pee-Pee, whether it was actually Pee-Pee kicking the can originally, or if he just picked it up afterward. Right? Like, it was implied that he was the one kicking it in the first place, because it said again, right? Pee-Pee took the can in his mouth again. But I don't know. The ambiguity is kind of annoying. We passed the rest of the night uneventfully. It was a peaceful time, and I decided to enjoy the satisfying rest. I woke from my slumber. I felt something cold and hard. I remembered slouching in the chair and slumping forward on the table. Even then, the sleep that I'd gotten was far better than the day before. Hey, good morning. Oh, good morning, Takeshi. It appeared that you had gotten up just before me. What time is it? Almost 5:50 a.m., I think. You sure are an early riser. What are you talking about? You're just lazy. Okay, 5:50 a.m. does not count as lazy. Anyone that's waking up before 6 in the morning, like, has earned some points, okay? Like, you don't get to shit-talk him for not being up by 6. Saying that, you let out a big yawn. Then again, being all tense for so long just gets you tired. Probably better to sleep when you can. Being in a situation like this, we really need to keep well rested. Because when it comes down to it, if we can't think our way out of the situation, we're in trouble. Hey, I said that yesterday. Yeah, I suppose you did. Dodging the subject, you laughed silently, or slightly rather. Hey, since you're up, why don't you go wash your face? Wait, did you draw on it again? Jesus. Yeah, I might as well. Hey, you didn't write on my face again, did you? I instinctively rubbed my cheeks. Don't worry, I didn't write anything. I stood up slowly and checked my surroundings. Coco had arranged some chairs to create a makeshift bed. She was asleep on top of them. And at the base of her pillow, Pee-Pee's neck was cocked to the side. He looked like he was sleeping too. I got up, squeezed by the sleeping Coco, and opened the door. Hey! Oh, morning, kid. Why is everyone up so early? Like, are they all masochists or something? Hey, don't look so depressed, Takeshi. What are you talking about? I'm just sleepy's all. Well, a lot's happened in the last couple of days. You tired? I'm alright. I just need to wake up is all. See ya. I headed to the nearest bathroom. The water covering the floor seeped into my shoes, which had only just finished drying. They were wet all over again. My socks got heavy and clung to my feet. My pace slowed. Ah, what a freaking pain. Splash. Scooping up water from around my feet, I splashed it on my face. Oh, that's cold. I was shivering, but at the same time, my whole body felt awake. So that's why people wash their faces in the morning. When I went back to the conference room conversation quickly turned to what we were going to eat. Spoiler alert, it's probably chicken sandwiches. Tsugumi and Sora aren't here. You sure it's okay? Yeah, but they're sure to show up soon. Yeah, knowing those two, you're probably right. I decided to wake up Coco. Hey, get up, it's morning. I shook her shoulder gently. Rubbing her eyes, Coco got up slowly. Oh, good morning, brother. Huh? Oh yeah, Coco, you have a brother? But hey, you got the two of us mixed up. No, brother. We need to get ready or we'll be late for school. Coco was still half in dreamland. Wait a minute! That reminds me! Like, the last scene of Use Route, or not the last scene, but like one of the last scenes in Use Route, had the kid revealed to be Coco's brother, but like, here there's Coco, right? And the kid has amnesia, sure, but nobody said that anything about Coco having amnesia yet, right? So why hasn't she gone up to him and be like, oh hey, by the way, you're my brother? I'm super confused. I'm actually not that confused. I'm taking this as like evidence that either this Coco is like Sarah or something. Like either there's two Cocos, or the kid isn't actually Coco's brother and it's somebody else. I guess there could be two kids. That's also possible. But like, I like just went over the game's like giving me subtle nods that there aren't two people, or like one person can't be in the same place. You can't be in two different places at the same time, right? But I guess that's not an issue if it's two different people who just happen to, I don't know, look super similar. So I guess the most plausible one is there's like hologram Coco and regular Coco, but then hologram Coco is based on Sarah and the kid are siblings, but that doesn't make sense because Sarah was present all of the kid's half of the game, and she didn't say anything about being his sister. Okay, I take it back. When I said I wasn't confused a minute ago, I actually am still confused. Late for school? What are you talking about? Well, that's just the setting it is. Listen. Stop messing around. We're gonna eat. Okay, Takepon. We all made our way to the kiosk. Everyone okay with hot dogs? Oh no, I was wrong! I thought it was gonna be chicken sandwiches and then it wasn't! I feel betrayed. My whole world is crumbling around me. Hot dogs? You have hot dogs here? Well, I found a few in the back of the fridge. Must have been on the stealth menu. Oh, this is when we find out that they were eaten by rats or whatever. Or Tsugumi. Or hologram Coco. Or someone. I was relegated to cook duty again. Hey, Takeshi, are they done yet? Why do I have to be so hungry? My stomach is gonna cave in. I'm gonna become two-dimensional. You already are two-dimensional. And float away on the wind. Would you shut up already? I was inside the kiosk that had been made to look like a submarine. Sausages were sizzling in a frying pan. They sold sub sandwiches here, so I guess the exterior of the place was a sorry play on that. Why am I thinking about stupid things like that? In a little while, the place started to smell great. I carefully placed a sausage in the toasted, lightly buttered hot dog buns. Alright, whoever wants to eat, get in line. I'm first. Oh, well, here you go. Thank you. Help yourself to ketchup and mustard. I'd like one too. Hey, wait in line, the next person is me. This was probably the way things usually were at this shop. There still wasn't any schedule as to when we might get out of Limu. But in the meantime, we'd stop thinking about the difficult and negative things. I'm not sure why, but you look like you're having fun. Who, me? You think so? Fun? I guess maybe. I wiped the sweat caused by the heat of cooking from my face. Yeah, you look like you might even be enjoying your life here. I wonder how that'd feel. I guess it'd be kind of fun owning a stand like this. Owning a stand. The kid stifled a laugh. Takepon, you really do look like you work here. Hot dogs, get your hot dogs, they're on the house. You don't think that maybe you could have sold hot dogs in a past life? Ah, shucks, ma'am, you're just saying that. No, Coco, I don't think he was a hot dog man. I think he was a sandwich man? What are they talking about? Oh, come on, you. Ha ha ha. Was that a pun that, like, didn't translate well? Or is you just an idiot? Ha ha ha. I suppose we were just happy to be eating hot food. We could worry about the details after our stomachs were full. For the moment, we were enjoying eating that simple meal. After spending some time laughing... Ah! The kid suddenly looked up at the ceiling. The ceiling? What's that? He blinked. His eyes were focused on the ceiling as if he had seen something. Hey, what's wrong? My curiosity piked. I asked him. Peaked? Piked? Peaked, maybe. And following his gaze, I looked up at the ceiling. But I couldn't see anything out of the ordinary. I wonder... I don't know what it was, but I swear I saw something. Saw something? Like what? Well, I didn't really see it. I just have a bad feeling about the second floor somewhere. Okay, so I thought that was like the hologram system acting up, but this is probably just his premonition acting up. Saying like, above you, there's a bad thing happening. Was there something happening on the second floor at this point? That I'm like supposed to remember from the other half of the game? I don't think so. What the heck are you talking about? I think we should check that floor one more time. His eyes looked upwards again and started mumbling incoherently. Concerned, I shook his shoulder. And then he snapped out of it. Don't worry about it. If something's up, Sora would warn us about it, right? Yeah, you're right. But still. Looks like I'm not the only one who's tired. Then Tsugumi appeared out of nowhere. What just happened? Nah, we were all just eating hot dogs. Look, I made one for you, too. Tsugumi took it without saying anything. I could hear the sound of her taking the hot dog out of its wrapper. Wait, if you just cooked it, why is it in a wrapper? It doesn't make any sense. And I watched her motions carefully. I swallowed, watching her. Tsugumi placed the wrapper on the counter. Slowly, with the ketchup in her right hand and the mustard in her left, she squeezed the tubes. Their contents gushed out. Wait, was this the route where, like, we made her the disgusting sandwich, and then she ate it and she was like, oh, that was pretty good? Because that was horrifying, and if she's about to replicate that experience, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. Hey, Tsugumi! What? The hot dog was entirely covered in red and yellow. You eat that much mustard and it'll kill you. Really? Tsugumi bit into the hot dog. Hey, is it spicy? I bet it's spicy. Not really. You're probably thinking to yourself, dang, I put way too much on, right? I don't really care. And after that, she continued eating in silence. But I thought I'd seen a glimmer of eyes slightly starting to tear. Hey, don't strain yourself. I'm not. I'm finished. Oh. Alright, well, want another is both relevant for Tsugumi's route and the funnier of the two options, so it's the obvious choice here. Hey, you want another one? I can make you one. No thanks. You always just wolf your food down. I don't know, but there just isn't much satisfaction in cooking for you. Besides, with all the ketchup and mustard on it, you probably can't even taste it. I mean, it's a hot dog. It's not exactly the height of culinary accomplishment. Like the chicken sandwich I'll give you, like that at least requires some amount of skill, right? Maybe, I don't know what ingredients you put in your chicken sandwiches. But like, a hot dog is literally the most straightforward thing I can imagine. You like, put it in the frying pan or the boiling water, and then when it looks cooked, you take it out. Like, that's literally all there is to it. Like, I don't feel like your skill as a chef is necessarily being called into question here. Like, I don't know if you should take this as a personal assault or affront. It doesn't matter how it tastes. Of course it matters! Doing my best to show you how real cooking tastes. You just wait. I'll cook you up a meal that will wake up your taste buds. I've had enough to eat, okay? I'm full. Well, if you say so. Boom! Suddenly, a low metallic sound reverberated throughout the installation. It was a dull, muffled sound. What was that? This whole place just shook a little. Tsugumi's eyes darted around, as if searching for something. Moments later, the kid and Coco, who'd both been resting in another room, appeared. Hey, kid, what was that? I don't know. Hey, this doesn't have anything to do with the bad feeling you had earlier, does it? The kid shook his head. I don't know. Maybe we should ask Sora. Did you call for me? From out of nowhere, Sora appeared in midair and floated down in front of us. Hi, Sora. Hey, Sora, where were you? I'm terribly sorry. I overslept. That shouldn't be possible. You don't sleep. Sora looked embarrassed. Overslept? But you're... Nah, we'll save that for later. Hey, did something just happen? There was an awful noise just now. One of the shafts that supports this floor has started to warp. We didn't see any signs of it yesterday. Yes, well, it wasn't in my calculations. It appears as if the ocean currents may have influenced this outcome. How dangerous are we talking about here? Well, it should be within the margin of error, but no, wait a second. There's an anomaly in one of the pressure-regulating pipelines at White Stock's warehouse. What are pressure-regulating pipes? These pipelines are responsible for adjusting the pressure inside the multi-layered bulkheads comprising Limu. If any of them should rupture, for whatever reason, I'm incapable of repairing them. The anomaly is only slight, so you shouldn't have to hurry, but I think it's best if someone goes to check on it. Would you please go for me? Sure, leave it to me. I volunteered right away. I'll go too. Unexpectedly, Tsugumi also agreed to go. Tsugumi, you sure? Well, if we're gonna fix something, we'll need tools, right? I know my way around a workshop. Alright, let's go. I'll help too. Woof. Okay, you can come too, Coco. Hey, does anyone know where you went? I looked around, but I didn't see you anywhere. She went to the control room when things were shaking earlier. We must have just missed each other. I'll go and tell her that you're going up above. Alright, kid, I'll leave it to you. Keep an eye on things from the control room, will you? Just to make sure we don't miss anything. If something comes up, use Lemon to contact me. Alright, see ya. Bounding across the water's surface, the kid shot down the corridor. We climbed the emergency stairs quickly. Even if there wasn't any need to hurry, we couldn't afford to waste any time. Tsugumi set her sights on the floor above and started lugging the heavy toolbox. Coco and Pee-Pee followed right behind. By the way, Sora, I asked Sora, who was gliding alongside me, something that had been on my mind. Yes, Takeshi, what is it? You mentioned you'd overslept earlier. Yes, I'm sorry. Sora's face went a deep shade of red. Actually, there was routine maintenance on one of the servers where my data's stored. It initiated automatically this morning. Oh, actually, she does sleep. That's funny. It appears it took some time for the return processing. I was a little too optimistic on the preliminary check. I'm terribly sorry. Huh, so that's what it was. I laughed for some reason. What? Did I say something amusing? Sora was confused. No, I just thought it was funny that even you could oversleep, Sora. That's funny? How should I put it? It's cute. Cute? Yeah. Sleeping in is cute? That does not compute. Sora's eyes went round. Maybe it was because his particular use of the word wasn't in her database. I've caused all of you such trouble. Nobody's angry. Don't let it bother you. Everyone knows you're working hard. Ah, yes, thank you. Although Sora looked somewhat puzzled, her cheeks seemed to glow with joy. And for some reason I found that amusing too. Really, is it cute? I thought it was a charmingly innocent reaction. I suppose it was the kind of thing you'd call cute. We reached White Stock. To find out what they do in White Stock, tune in to next day's episode of Ever17 Ball Z. That is it for me. Catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.